Ladies and gentlemen, and we back. Finally, it's been 11 days. I don't have an excuse. I'm just not very good at this. I was gone for a couple days, so it's not an excuse. I could have planned better. I'm just not very good at this. So you're gonna have to, excuse me. Anyway, but happy, merry belated Christmas. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully you had good food, good presents, good family. And happy New Year. I don't have any plans personally. I gotta work, but make sure y'all go enjoy. Bring in the new year in a great way, good vibes. So enjoy that. I want to talk about though again the Los Angeles Clippers. I have a video a while back about the Clippers, but they've gone on a little 4-game win streak. In that little span, they've beat the Lakers, the Rockets, the Blazers, and the Pistons. 4 really good teams. They have the best offense in basketball by offensive rating and net rating in this little span, and they're second in player impact estimate. I have no idea what that means, but I thought it might help my point, so I threw it in there. I don't want to give any credit to Tyronn Lue. I just need to make sure that that's known. I can't stand Tyronn Lue. He's a horrible coach, and he deserves to be fired. So absolutely none of this goes to Tyronn Lue. However, a lot of this will go to Mr. Kawhi Leonard, who is averaging 39, 9.8, and 4.5, shooting 51% on 40 points a game. He is shooting 51%. Like that doesn't even that's so insane. And he had a career night against the Pistons the other day. He dropped a career high 55 on 65%. I watched that game. Takeaway, he had a couple half court heaves, so he probably shot 68% on 55 points. He also broke the I think it was the franchise record for most consecutive made free throws. But everything he does is just so robotic. There's no miss inputs, there's no miss movements. Everything is just like it was written by a computer. This is the Kawhi Leonard we love, not this guy who sits out games and doesn't play. I mean, this is why the Clippers signed him. He's gonna do amazing things like this. And we haven't seen a nuclear stretch from Kawhi like this since January of 2020, right? And he's had a few good stretches. Don't get me wrong, he's had a few good stretches in between these two, but he averaged 37.5 in that week stretch in January, and he's averaging 39 in this stretch. He is just, like I said, he's just so robotic. Everything about him. He has no emotion. He's just, that dude's just cold-blooded. I was surprised, though. 55? Career high? He had never had a 50-point game. I think is what it was. I think. 55 being career high is insane. He is the hardest career to judge out of basically any player ever. He has less career points than Tobias Harris. Yet he has more finals MVPs than Steph Curry. And the same as Kobe. Where do you rank Kawhi Leonard all time? If you look at his stats, they're not that impressive. But the eye test shows just how good Kawhi is. But he's so hard to judge. It's the weirdest thing. Also, another big shout out to the guy who was the talking point of my last Clippers video, James Harden, who is still hooping. 28, 3.5, and 7.3 on 40.5% shooting. He is the reason this team is where they are. They're not good, don't get me wrong. But he's been able to keep this team afloat the entire season. This is James Harden's team. It really is. He's averaging 28. He's been doing it all season. It's them two and a bunch of people. And that's why I don't think this is going to stay consistent. To put this into a little more context, in the Pistons game the other day, There was not a single other person on the Clippers who had scored until the 4-minute and 5-second mark in the first quarter. Kawhi and James Harden had put every single point on the board until that mark. That's not very good. And they just have no other firepower. There was a point in the fourth quarter when it started where Kawhi was on the bench. And it was just James Harden and everyone watching him. Every single possession in that game, and shout out Brook Lopez, he had 31 a couple of days ago against, I want to say that was the Blazers game? I think it was either the Rockets or the Blazers game where he hit 31. But basically every single possession is just watch Kawhi and James Harden. And they are two amazing scorers, so it works. But they need help because they're not getting it anywhere else. Nobody's moving. It is just take the ball and score. Like, back to when Kawhi was on the bench. The offense looked flat. James Harden had to force so many shots that were just uncomfortable because nobody's helping him. Nicholas Batum had like 12 points. I mean, nobody else on the team is good. Kawhi, over this little 4-game stretch, Kawhi and Harden in the Lakers game combined for 51% of the team's total points. In the Rockets game, they combined for 54% of the team's total points. In the Blazers game, they combined for 52% of the team's points. And in that Pistons game, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard combined for 74% of the team's points. 74%. This is not sustainable. You cannot, especially we know Kawhi's history of his injuries and sitting out, and we saw it even in the beginning of the year. Even before this streak, they dropped 10 of their last 11, and it's because Kawhi I think he played in a few of them, but he just doesn't play. We know that. He's kind of like Jimmy Butler in the sense where he just kind of coasts and hopes. Well, he's not during the stretch, but he just kind of hopes that his teams get him to the playoffs, and then he's going to show up then and try to push him to the promised land. But it's not a viable system if the rest of your team cannot score. And this team cannot score. With the loss of Norman Powell, there is nothing this team offers offensively besides James Harden. Nothing. There's no creation. There's barely any shooting. Everyone is old. The only bright side that I've seen is the defense was good. It wasn't amazing, but the defense was good this last stretch. But it won't matter when there's no offense. Obviously, we are going to see a slight calming from Kawhi because 39 is not something you could just keep doing over and over again. It's just not going to happen. We're going to see him come back down to earth. Hopefully not anytime soon. I'm loving this basketball. From a fan's perspective, just give him the ball and move for Kawhi and James Harden is awesome because it's just they're just chucking. But from a analytical standpoint, this isn't good for the Clippers. This isn't going to last. And having them drop over 50% of your team's points is not a sustainable recipe for success. I mean, they're older guys. It's going to put wear on their bodies. So they need to figure out something to do. If they think this is their year, they need to make a move. They need to find some point guard play. If that's Ja, even it doesn't need to be on Ja's level. Trey Murphy, just somebody who can alleviate that pressure off of Harden and Kawhi. Just help them out somehow because the rest of this team is not doing it. But like I said earlier, shout out to Brook Lopez, a 31-point game, I guess. I guess. They can... Zoo is still there. He's out. But Zoo might be the most valuable asset at this moment, and they might need to look into trading Zoo because Brook Lopez has been playing relatively well over this stretch, and Zoo might be able to go get them somebody. I might have to spend a little bit of time after I post this figuring out somebody they can go trade for, but they need to do something. They need to help this new fountain of youth that Kawhi found. So those are just my, couple of quick thoughts. Oh, I said this earlier. No, I'm not done. I need to truly say Tyronn Lue sucks at his job. I just needed to say that again in case my point didn't get across earlier. Yeah. Just some more quick notes on the Clippers. They still suck. The rest team's horrible. Kawhi's awesome, as we know. The claw. But yeah, hey, appreciate y'all for watching. And my New Year's resolution is hopefully to get good at this. Probably not, though. But appreciate y'all for watching. And as always, just remember at the end of the day, I'm just a guy with a microphone and an opinion. Peace out.